COVID-19 Digest number 151, Drug Maker Threatens to Kill Doctor. In today's COVID-19 News Digest, the first piece of news we reveal is a shocking revelation of the despicable act of a drug company. When this company was founded in 1987, it quickly became the darling of Wall Street analysts and brokers, because it was a biopharmaceutical company. It was different from the then Big Pharma companies, that made drugs purely from adding chemicals together in a vat and mixing things up, at the right heat and pressure. This company was seen as producing medicines from biotechnology to save more patients and thus making their drugs more tolerable to patients. So, it is shocking to learn that a French doctor who reported the benefits of hydroxychloroquine on COVID patients was revealing in a French court that Gilead was threatening to kill him. In case you don't know, Gilead is the company developing remdesivir to cure COVID-19. Just image this, a company that's in the life-saving business is now in the death business, like the mafia. Looks like Gilead the darling is growing up into a normal cloak and dagger Big Pharma company. It feels like Darth Vader has seduced Luke Skywalker to the dark side. We shall keep you posted on any further developments. In Britain, COVID-19 home test kits have been recalled because they are suspected to be not safe. The one being recalled is made by Randox. Stay away from home kits as their quality can't match that of lab tests. Don't say you weren't warned. 6 years ago, a group called Gene Watch UK warned that proposed government DNA databases that would store your genomic information from birth were nothing but a means to track you and anyone related to you, from cradle to grave. Purportedly, the genome banks were going to help people address both existing and possible future health issues. But, in reality, they merely allow governments and private enterprise a backdoor way to know everything about you, and track you, without your knowing it and without your consent. Then they will market medical procedures, drugs and other goods to you on an individualized basis, tailoring to your needs, based on what they see in your DNA database. Scientists in the UK say COVID-19 deaths are as much 63% lower than implied, and it's time to count the deaths in a way that accurately reflects not only the real number of people who have died from COVID-19, but the age groups that are most affected. Reported excess deaths likely include a significant number of non-COVID deaths, the universities of Loughborough and Sheffield said, and over the lockdown period as a whole government policy has increased mortality rather than reduced it. They also said the death counts include people who have died as a result of the lockdowns, for example those who have cancer or a chronic disease like cardiac problems, as well as the fact that most deaths are concentrated in the very elderly, those ages 74 to 84 and those above age 85. This study raises questions not simply about the efficacy of the blanket lockdown response, but also whether government communications to encourage public compliance have inadvertently driven other, more harmful, behaviors, they added. As the world sits on the precipice of what some health officials say is the only answer to the COVID-19 pandemic, a vaccine, health officials are worrying that one underlying factor could cancel the effectiveness of any vaccine they produce. That factor? Obesity. In the US alone, more than 107 million adults are obese, and obesity is a known high-risk factor for contracting COVID-19. In fact, Kaiser Health reports that those who are 100 pounds or more overweight are the highest risk of all. Obesity not only interferes with your body's ability to fight infections of all kinds, but puts you at risk for a litany of chronic diseases such as high blood pressure and other cardiovascular problems, cancer and diabetes. Because these diseases, added to obesity, keep your body in a constant state of inflammation, it makes it harder for a vaccine, which harnesses your inflammatory responses, to work. Hence, even if a successful vaccine comes to market, it might be possible it won't work in the most vulnerable population. Stay tuned for the next COVID-19 Digest.